New tonight, a scathing state audit is out on Highlands Community Charter and technical schools.
It came at the request of 4 state lawmakers after an ABC 10 investigation, the Wild West of Education. The audit confirms what investigative reporter Andy Judson has been uncovering for years.
She's here now. Andy, what did that audit reveal?
Yeah, Chris and Laura, the state auditors found Highlands improperly took in more than $180 million in public education funds, money they should never have received. The report confirms ABC 10's findings and details wasteful spending, unlawful hiring, and violations of state law, including gifts of public funds and conflicts of interest. And while money poured in, student performance was so poor, it dragged down the state's graduation rate.
More than $180 million. That's how much money Highlands Community Charter and technical schools received when they shouldn't have, the California State Auditor says, making it one of the largest charter school debacles in the history of California. But to the whistleblowers who came to ABC 10, it's not surprising.
Not at all. Not at all. And although I'm not surprised, I'm still incredibly disappointed.
The audit confirms Highlands wasted public funds and broke the law.
To me, it's just a big duh. Really, that was my reaction, was like, duh.
Thousands wastefully spent on items with no educational value, from sports sponsorships, political donations, to luxury travel, to places like Hawaii, Paris, and resorts in Southern California.
They've been using funds to benefit themselves. So it's just saddening.
And it was not just staff benefiting from your tax dollars, their families cashed in too. The audit details contracts handed to relatives, including nearly $400,000 since 2019 to a company owned by a Highlands director's spouse. And multiple contracts over $1 million were done with no board approval, violating the few policies they did have. And with no policies in place against nepotism or favoritism, Highlands hired and promoted unqualified friends and family members, often to 6-figure positions. An audit table shows the director of attendance rose to a $145,000 salary thanks to their mother's seat on the board.
This is what happens when organizations and or leadership thinks they are untouchable.
And while the money flowed, students struggled. The audit says outcomes at Highlands were so low, they dragged down California's statewide graduation rate for the 2023-2024 school year. So who's responsible?
My overall feeling of the report is just, this triangulation of blame. SCOE and CDE and Twin Rivers just all blaming each other for lack of oversight.
Highlands Oversight Agency, Twin Rivers Unified, took nearly $13 million it cannot justify while doing next to nothing to provide real oversight. Even after a 2018 audit flagged critical issues that needed to be addressed, Twin Rivers renewed Highlands Charter anyway and even misled its own board about the school's performance. The audit also holds accountable the California Department of Education, the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing, and Sacramento's County's Office of Education, saying these agencies have the authority to provide oversight to charters like Highlands, but have not fully done so.
I hope they'll pay attention. I went to those agencies before we went to you. They just brushed me off and didn't take anything seriously, and I hope that we do create some new legislature or guidelines for oversight.
With the audit's findings, it's now up to lawmakers and law enforcement to decide what's next. Highlands says it's launching reforms and has appointed a new executive director, Jonathan Raymond, who's the former superintendent of Sac City Unified. It's worth noting ABC 10 has requested an interview with him. And Twin Rivers Unified responded, saying they've worked in good faith with the auditors and they do disagree with some findings, but that they followed the law and are committed to improvement. Chris and Laura.
Andy, thank you. And the California Department of Education says they've taken specific actions to hold the school accountable and repeatedly raise concerns with Twin Rivers. You can watch all episodes of the Wild West of Education right now on our ABC 10 Plus streaming app. It's free to download on your TV.